Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm 2 for 2, so let's just keep this rolling. Yesterday's video I talked about where the current state of Cold War is in regards to just like as a game. Today I'm gonna talk a little bit about the Battlefield 2042 versus COD 2021 debate. I mentioned a little bit in the video that we're in August now and we've heard absolutely nothing from Activision, from Sledgehammer, from anyone about what COD 2021 is meant to be. And for me, that does not fill me with any form of hope as a Call of Duty player. I had a feeling that if they were to go back to the World War II phase, like they did when the leaks started coming out in around about April time, I wasn't going to touch it. I was not a fan of World War II. I didn't get into the campaign, no matter how much people said it was amazing. The multiplayer for me was very poor. It was a multiplayer that had the least content of any COD game pretty much ever released at launch. It had 9 maps. There was barely any weapons. They tried to be innovative, I will give them that. But it never took off, and the only reason it started picking up a little bit was when they released Shipment 1944. By that point, I'd already stopped playing. The zombies could have been better. I did like the horror aspect of it. It definitely gave it a different vibe than what we had seen from Treyarch zombies at the time. Definitely trying to capitalise sort of on like a Left 4 Dead kind of feel with just how dark and gritty and jump scary it was. That I didn't mind, but I couldn't get into the storyline of it at all. So the moment that they said that they leaked that it was going to be World War II Vanguard, immediately my head went, I'm not going to be buying this. And, for me, that's down to me. Like I said, I would rather play a modern Call of Duty game or semi-futuristic, like in the what is now 2040s and stuff like that. I mean, you got to think Black Ops 2 was based in, if I'm correct in thinking, it was it the 2020s where we're at now and stuff like that. We ain't got half the crap they had in that game. But I would rather stay in a modern era than go back in time to it, because I mean, canonically it doesn't really make sense either way that we just keep going from modern to what we're in now with the Cold War, and then we're going to go back to World War II, and then we're going to go back to the modern warfare again. And it's just a weird cycle, and I don't think it's going to work. I really don't. I think at the moment, with everything that's going on with Activision and Blizzard at the moment, it doesn't spell good. The last thing they need right now is to drop any news on World War II or World War II Vanguard, whatever it's going to be called, because they know for a fact it's just going to get absolutely trashed. And for me, that's the problem with Call of Duty right now, is it's in a state where, it's been at the forefront of gaming since 2007, 2008, with Modern Warfare and World at War, and then really came into the mainstream picture with Modern Warfare 2. That was the first big game that Infinity Ward and Activision had, and, they rode the coattails of that for a little while, but, the more you look into what it's been like over the past 5-6 years and stuff like that, the quality of the games has gone down because they've either tried to be too complex, they've tried to change too much, and it just hasn't worked. Call of Duty is a simple arcade shooter. It always has been. With World War II, with the divisions, made it extremely sort of complicated and everything. With Black Ops 4, they tried to make it way too tactical by putting in armor and 5v5 and trying to do all that. That just didn't work at all. The Modern Warfare 2019 was a okay game. It was, it's the most profitable game for a reason. It's a modern era game. You basically reboot the name and stuff like that. People get a nostalgia feel over it, and it kept people playing. It made me want to play all the time. But we're in an era now where Battlefield have taken a very long time. I think almost 2 years in between games from Battlefield 5 to where we're at now with 2042. And it shows so easily that I think Battlefield have done the right thing by taking their time with the game. They could have easily have seen that a futuristic Battlefield could have completely flopped. But the overwhelming reaction, I think this does help with the fact that Call of Duty haven't announced anything, because if COD had announced something before they'd announced anything to do with the trailers and stuff like that, I do really think Battlefield may have struggled. But because they're riding the coattails, everyone's like, do you know what? This could be. We've talked about it for years and years and years. Will Battlefield ever have a COD killer? The answer to that is simply no. COD will never ever go away. You will never have a game that kills the franchise and stuff like that. But could it kill a particular game? Absolutely, and stuff like that. With Battlefield 1, that was an extremely solid game. And it was brought around in an era, I think it was either 2016, 2017. So Call of Duty, I think, were just coming off of a futuristic COD in Infinite Warfare going into World War II. So they knew that, what would Battlefield 1 be like? And Battlefield 1 turned out to be one of the best Battlefield games ever made. Battlefield 5 definitely flopped. It had some good aspects to it, but the moment they tried to add a Battle Royale to it, it just completely went off the rails. I did try Firestorm. It wasn't for me, and clearly it wasn't for the community. It does look like that they've taken their time with Battlefield 2042 or 2142. I can't remember the name of it. It's clear that they're taking their time with this. They're listening to the community, and every trailer that they've put out has been met with universal praise from gamers and fans alike and stuff like that, to the point that people aren't talking about other FPS games. You got Halo Infinite coming out this year. That's another video for another time. This game for Battlefield could be, okay, we've got this now, where do we move on from here? Everything we've seen so far from the trailers looks absolutely unreal. To them going back in time and showing the clip from Battlefield 3 that made a streamer famous, seeing his reaction now on TikTok, I think I saw it on, where he's seeing his clip for the first time and everything in an actual game. The Battlefield creators saw that and went, you know what? This is what we want the community to be about. We're a wholesome community in that sort of case. We want to have that togetherness with the fans. That shows a lot. You couldn't imagine having anyone from like Activision or Treyarch, Infinity Ward, doing something like, if an Infinity Ward were making Modern Warfare 2 and stuff like that, you're not going to have like a phase trick shot off the top of high rise, for example, and everything in a trailer. It just doesn't really work. That's not the way they do things. And I think for me, the closer we get to the release date of Battlefield now, it doesn't really matter what Call of Duty does with their next game, because you will see people buy it, but the problem is it's not going to be in the numbers that they have done. Cold War has flopped this year. Modern Warfare made them a ton of money, so they can ride off that Modern Warfare money. But COD World War II Vanguard isn't going to sell numbers. It's not going to do anything at all. And right now, if you're one of the if you're one of the teams and everything, Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer and Treyarch, you seriously have to sit down with Activision and say, what the hell are we doing in regards to our franchises? We've seen that Black Ops franchise be basically trashed with Black Ops 4 and Cold War, that it ruins the name of the Black Ops series. The Black Ops series should only have ever been a trilogy. Even though number 3 was okay, it wasn't amazing, and it didn't stick to the story of what Black Ops 1 and 2 were about. It was an alright game, but 4 had nothing to do with it, bar the fact they just brought back the specialist characters. And then Cold War, bar delving into some of the names from the original Black Ops and stuff like that, it has absolutely nothing to do canonically with the franchise as a whole. It was just shoehorned with the Black Ops name to try and make it sell numbers, and unfortunately it hasn't worked. Where do we go next as a Call of Duty community? I have no idea. This is the first Call of Duty that I'm fairly certain I will not be buying and stuff like that. I've bought every single Call of Duty ever since I started working back in 2013. I've always had every COD since Modern Warfare 2. And this is, even though I bought Black Ops 4, I bought all these games like Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare, which I do actually quite like. But I'm going into, the end of 2021, and I'm not going to have a COD game to play. And do you know what? I'm perfectly content with that. Of all the great games that are coming out this year and stuff, maybe I end up getting the new FIFA just to play with some friends of mine. I'm going to be getting Halo, knowing that the multiplayer is for free. I'm going to be buying Battlefield. I'm going to be getting Forza Horizon 5. It's such a good year for me, for gaming-wise and everything, that I don't need a Call of Duty. The best thing for Call of Duty right now is to quite literally take a break. You don't need to make another game right now because, the name of it's like I said, when World War II Vanguard was as leaked as a name, the community was overwhelmingly negative towards it. And with all the backlash that's happened with Activision, with the whole Warzone incidents, with, banning hackers and stuff like that, to just the dismal state that Cold War is in, they are better off just canning this. But there was talk a few months ago that Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, the multiplayer, would be released as the COD of this year. Now, if they do go ahead and do that, then yes, I will be buying it. The problem is I don't want to buy it because it will be ruined. The modern Call of Duty player will ruin Modern Warfare 2. And then there was also talk about Modern Warfare 3 being remastered. And the last thing I need is my favourite COD game being remastered into a modern era Call of Duty that's just going to be ruined. I can hop back onto Modern Warfare 3 on PlayStation 3 right now, and I'll be absolutely killing it. And the way that people play is perfect. Right now, for me, Call of Duty needs to take a Battlefield step and can whatever game they've got in development right now, whether it's about to go gold or whatever, can it completely, start from scratch, and then give yourself this time and stuff like that to make a good game. You realise right now that Battlefield is all over the web and stuff like that. Battlefield was going to be the game this year, followed very closely by Halo in terms of FPS shooters. Right now, Call of Duty is in a state where they are third in this race in terms of what is the best FPS game of the year, and they've never ever been in that position. That's personally my opinion. Whatever you guys think as well, leave it down in the comments. I'd love to have this discussion with everyone and stuff like that. Like, where does Call of Duty go from here? What should they do? If you look at where Battlefield have come from and stuff like that, completely out of the blue, throwing in a futuristic Battlefield game, like, it was completely out of the blue. None of us expected a futuristic Battlefield game. We've seen the trailers. I mean, it could come up to be completely dog crap. It could be completely terrible. But at least they took the step to do it. I don't think it'll be terrible. By looking at everything for it, it's going to be an amazing game. And I will be playing it, and I will be recording it. As simple as that. But I'm going to leave it there. Tell me, guys, what you think. What is going to be the bigger game this year? Is it going to be Battlefield, or is it going to be the next Call of Duty? All social media links are down in the description, guys. And as always, take care. I'll speak to you soon.